Hey guys, it's Jay here. I'm just doing a quick video. I want to talk about this whole coronavirus slash vaccine situation. I first want to apologize for the mess that is my bedroom. I am a bachelor, so sue me. But as you can see here, I got all my tech stuff over here. I work from home, so it's pretty convenient. That's my gaming PC right there, and my guitar, workstation. All right, anyway, ADD moment. So I want to talk about the whole vaccine situation, coronavirus, and just the response to it in general. So as someone who came out of the Christian worldview, now someone who's more into the New Age slash spiritualist worldview, I'm certainly a lot more liberal in my viewpoints on spirituality, God, the universe, and all that kind of stuff. Even lifestyles. I used to be like against gay marriage and homosexuality, all the things you would expect, a Christian to be against. Not the person, but the lifestyle, as they would say. But anywho, I've found it fascinating that, the New Age slash, spiritual community is more liberal. And, for example, I would see churches such as the Assemblies of God that I used to go to still open during the pandemic. Of course, with, some social distancing guidelines and masks, but still stay open. While the Unity Church that I was starting to attend right around coronavirus hit closed down, and then we did live streaming and occasionally outdoors services when the weather was cooperating. So anyways, I've always been kind of more along the lines of feeling like this whole response to the coronavirus is out of fear. And it's hard because you want to care about other people and their feelings. You don't want to tell them that, their fear is, unnecessary or extreme or, over exaggerated, But at the same time, you feel like, we never ever responded this way before to any kind of situation involving a virus. We've had some pretty gnarly viruses over the years. This one is certainly arguably one of the worst ones. I'm not going to, sugarcoat it and try to act like it doesn't exist. I'm not one of those people that believe in all the conspiracies, that it was a China virus or some kind of, generated in a lab, But I do think that the whole media response to this is actually feeding more negative energy into it and keeping it almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy slash perpetuation, making the situation worse. It's more in our minds. And the whole phrase, what you resist shall persist. I feel like that applies to this in some cases. And just the fear that's surrounding this, what you fear you bring to your experience. And people are really afraid to leave their houses in some cases, And now I totally understand that if you're, an elderly person, 65 plus, or if you have, a compromised immune system, you should probably take your precautions. But that would be under any situation, not just COVID, just any kind of situation where you could, end up being compromised and get sick worse than the average person. So I get that. But a thought occurred to me at the very beginning of this pandemic, when I started seeing things shut down, all these silly little rules, like you have to walk down a certain way down certain aisles at stores. Or stores would close early. Or, for example, I play softball and they're only allowed to have so many people outside and they have to be wearing masks while they're outside. It just makes no sense to me, There's a lot of things that it appears to me that are responses out of fear. That's the reason why I'm putting this on my Faith Evolved channel, not just my personal channel, because I feel like it applies to spirituality. Why is it that the people that are more spiritually aware somehow seem to be acquiescing to the fear that the general public is putting on them? And I get that you want to respect other people and not make them feel, inferior because they have more fear than you, But shouldn't we be leading by example, by showing them that there's nothing to fear? I mean, you could walk out the door right now and get hit by a bus, and that's it. You're done. You're going home, And I just find it fascinating, I could. Here's the best argument that I could give you. All right. I'm an overweight guy, all right? I've lost about 30 pounds in the past 6+ months. I'm working on my diet and my health and getting in shape, but I'm still, by the general standards, about 50, 60, 70 pounds overweight, depending on who you ask. So I can't just go outside right now and jog down the street for maybe like a mile or two without, running out of breath, wheezing, and just almost passing out due to lack of oxygen, due to my lungs not being able to process all the oxygen that my body needs to maintain homeostasis at 235 pounds, which I'm currently at. Whereas somebody else that's in fit, in good fitness and good shape can go out and run for miles. Now I can sit here and be like, that's not fair. They can run for miles. I can't barely jog a half a mile without, falling onto the ground, passing out almost. Should I stop them? Should I demand that they not be able to run simply because I'm fat and I can't run like they can? Think about that. Doesn't that sound ridiculous? Yeah, that's essentially what we're doing. We're shutting the entire economy down, shutting our way of life down, our way of being. We're social beings. We're shutting down our avenues of being social with other people because of a few people might die. Yes, does that sound a little insensitive? Maybe it does, but people die every day. Now, in reality, there is no death if you're looking at it from a metaphysical standpoint, from a spiritual standpoint. This is just one life, and we move on once we, leave behind this mortal coil. We move on to a better world, So we shouldn't be afraid of death, but we are responding as if we are. And I feel like the spiritual community is acquiescing and giving into the fear. So, and of course, now we have the vaccine, all right? The vaccine is now available. And, there are people that are getting it, people that are almost upset that they're not able to get it quick enough because this waiting list is, there's priorities. The elderly has to get it first. The people working in, essential jobs have to be able to get it first. Doctors and, school teachers and even, grocery store workers and things of that nature. In fact, I do Amazon Flex on the side as a side gig, and I was offered the vaccine like 2 months ago, maybe a month and a half ago. And I decided, I don't want the vaccine. And it's not because I'm anti-vax, because I don't feel the need to. I don't have fear of the coronavirus. And yet there are people online that are freaking out that they're not even able to get it yet, that they have to wait so long. And it's like, you could argue whether the vaccine works or not. Maybe it works great, I'll even prove a point here, almost like a devil's advocate kind of like reverse psychology argument here for you. Now we have this. I was scrolling through Facebook today and I see this. Have you received the J&J vaccine, which is Johnson & Johnson? If you're experiencing severe headache, abdominal pain, leg pain, or shortness of breath within 3 weeks after getting vaccination, contact your healthcare provider. And I was like, I wonder how long it's going to take before you start seeing these kind of like ads where if you have taken this, coronavirus vaccine, please call this doctor for compensation or lawyer or whatever. And so it says here, FDA, CDC call for Johnson & Johnson vaccine pause to investigate rare blood clots. Okay, so there's some adverse reactions to the vaccine. Look, they told us this was going to happen. Every other vaccine on the market, there's always a few people that unfortunately have adverse effects from it. It says right here, it's a rare and severe type of blood clot. Extremely rare. I'm going to zoom in on this right here. Ready? Oh, I can't do that with holding the camera, but you know what I mean. See if I can zoom in over here. So let's zoom in on this right here. Extremely rare. 6.8 million doses have so far been administered in the United States. 6 cases. So let's do some math here, all right? 6 divided by 6 point, you can see I already did this before. Let's go with the saved history here, it'll be easier. 8.8235, blah, 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 E minus 7, whatever that means. I mean, I know it's like some kind of exponential thing, but it's such a ridiculously small. I mean, I wanted to see some context to what percentage of people are actually getting, these rare blood clots. So I added, let's just say 600 divided by 6.8 million. You get 0.00008. That's like, I mean, you're talking like less than a thousandth of a percent. That's probably 10,000, less than 10 thousandths of a percent here. I mean, it's just so minuscule, so like microscopic. That's at 600. So we're talking 1 in 6, basically 1 in 6 million people, or one out of a million people are essentially getting a blood clot. And I think only one person has died from it so far. So the attitude should not be, oh, what? You don't care about that one person out of a million that got the blood clot and almost died? And I think only one person has died out of it. So 1 out of 6 million actually passed away from it. So again, I'm not for the vaccine personally. If somebody else needs the vaccine and they feel that it's helping them, giving them peace of mind and easing their anxiety, that they might that they actually won't get sick from the coronavirus, then that's great. I'm not here to tell you not to take the vaccine. What I'm here to tell you is that nobody is guaranteeing you a perfect, flawless existence on planet Earth with no trials and tribulations, with no negative experiences. It's almost like the world is demanding that the authorities and the government foolproof everything and make it so that we live in a utopia, that nothing can go wrong. And if something does go wrong, point the finger and blame somebody. Like I said, you could walk outside and get hit by a bus and be going to your next life. And there's nothing that you can do to stop that, really. You can try to prevent it, but at some point, you will eventually pass on. All of us will. So that doesn't mean like be haphazard and don't care. There is a difference here. I think there's a way to care, but at the same time not let it shut down our way of living and give in to fear. And I will go to my grave, pun intended, believing that the response to the coronavirus has been more out of fear than out of caring for our brothers and sisters. And people will go, I'm sure will disagree with me on this. That's fine. That's the whole human experience, is the contrast. And I could be wrong, you could be wrong. In the end, it's not going to matter, or we will find out eventually. But in the end, I think it's a personal thing. For me, to not go out and play softball, to not go to Alaska like I did last year, to not travel, to not drive, to not, be outside, and just try to live my life the most that society will let me during a pandemic, that would be not being true to myself. That would be giving into fear. But for somebody else, just walking out the door, maybe to them in some strange way that's doing a disservice to society. I can't understand it. I really can't. But I'm not them. I'm not going through what they've gone through. I don't have a set of experiences they have that led them to be more cautious about it than anything else. But I will say, in the end, if it's done out of fear, it's not serving you. And that's really the message of this entire video. Go ahead and take the Johnson & Johnson vaccine if you can get it. It's 1 dose instead of 2 doses, as far as I understand. My aunt took it and she felt not too good for a day or two. She had a little fever and headache, but she was fine. Most people are going to be fine. Look, if you're taking the vaccine to protect yourself, but you're not like losing sleep over it, I have no problem with that. I personally don't want the vaccine. There's definitely going to be some traveling in my future, and I might be forced to get the vaccine if I want to go to Europe or something, or Canada. And you know what? At that point, if I'm forced to do it, I'm not going to sit here and lose sleep over that either. I will do it. There's a whole section in the Course of Miracles. If your brother asks you to do something insane, do it, because it doesn't matter. Because to me, it doesn't really matter. It's more for everybody else that I would take the vaccine, not for me. Because I know my body is healthy enough to handle whatever is thrown at it. And if it's not healthy enough, then it was probably my time to go anyways. Even people that have near-death experiences, sometimes they're told, sorry, it's not your time. Ain't nothing you could do to stop Jesus from sending you back if your time ain't done on this planet, folks. So just remember that. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rant. God bless.